Know the little expression, time is money. As one computer said, if you're on the train and they say Portal Bridge, you know you better make other plans.
Come on, man.
I bet his computer is probably still running on dial-up, and if that doesn't give you enough confidence in the leader of the free world and shows you that the whole system definitely is not rigged, definitely is not run by shadowy elites, I don't know what does. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Radowski here of WeAreChange.org, and we got a lot of absolutely crazy, shocking news to get into today as the Germans are bringing back tiki torch marches. That's not a good sign historically, as of course more and more people around the world are facing the full brunt of their surveillance technocratic police state as the government keeps inventing and creating new decrees that they demand you go by, or else you will have to face the full brunt of the state. And we're going to get into that plus a lot more, but before we do, the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is by a YouTube user called PowerTie. We, of course, will link their full channel down in the description below, so after this video, you could watch more of their incredible work, which I would personally say is stunning. Now, when the ruling establishment is not promoting mass psychosis and hysteria, we also wanted to remind you that they are also very busy running an international child trafficking and extortion operation that right now is on trial, as there is a very important court proceeding happening right now in New York surrounding Ghislaine Maxwell, which very oddly a lot of the ruling establishment corporate press doesn't really like to talk about. Another thing that shadowy corporate billionaire overlords also call for is the destruction of the family unit, since of course it equals record profits for them. And according to the latest data, they have been very successful at achieving a large portion of their goal, as we're finding out today that just 18% of U.S. households are now nuclear families with married couples and children. That, of course, is down from 40% in the 1970s and is continuing to go down dramatically, as, of course, more corporations are having more and more of an impact on our daily lives. And if you could influence and manipulate people like never before, that, of course, will have real-life consequences. I believe we are seeing those consequences, especially from the very powerful. And what did you expect with thought leaders like Chris Cuomo and Jeff Zucker literally being the individuals that are shaping the mentality and the mindset of this country with, of course, their alleged news reports? As today we are finding out that Chris Cuomo is confirming something that I speculated on a few days ago, that it was his boss, Jeff Zucker, that knew exactly what was going on between him and his brother, and that he only decided to act on it when other limousine liberal publications like The Atlantic decided to criticize him for it, and that's when, of course, he got the boot, when, of course, Jeff Zucker knew all along every detail that now he is acting shocked by this, according to, of course, Chris Cuomo. In other really bad leader news, we're finding out today that Kamala Harris is being branded a bully by her staff that accuse her of inflicting, quote, constant soul-destroying criticism and attacks on her staff. Yes, this absolutely fake and disingenuous person being described as totally mean, cruel, and unhinged is not surprising to me, but it is surprising for a lot of the people that are paying attention to the corporate press. This, as 4 staff members have just publicly resigned within a few days, and of course more are expected to resign in the next coming days, as of course some staffers are sending out totally natural, totally non-coerced, totally non-forced messages on social media saying that they, quote, love to work with Kamala. This, as many people are asking him if he's kidnapped, and sending out secret messages of help with this post. That, of course, is nothing compared to the absolute crap show happening in the United Kingdom, where the Prime Minister's staff literally put the word police on him as much as they could in order to try to cover up how there was illicit, illegal hard drugs found in the bathroom of the British Parliament. Oh wow, sociopaths and crazy people that want to rule other people's lives also have substance abuse problems? Who would have thought? Obviously, everyone who's paying attention. And if you want to pay attention to what's going on even more, you should sign up to LukeUncensored.com, as of course we're going to be doing another special unfiltered video later on today, where specifically we will detail how a lot of cold weather, yep, you heard it here, cold weather and post-pandemic stress disorder are responsible for a large number of heart-related illnesses that have been dramatically going up all over the world. What's happening here? What's going on? Well, we're going to get into that, plus a lot more, all exclusively on LukeUncensored.com. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? And there's ways to even give memberships as gifts, which of course also include a free apocalypse survival training guide with up to 20 plus videos, along with Change Media University. So if you have someone who's a prepper or someone who wants to be a journalist, you can now gift them a membership of LukeUncensored.com, which I would say makes a very unique, pretty awesome gift that I think could definitely help out a lot of people. LukeUncensored.com, the link is down below. Click on it right now to find out more. Now, just moments ago, a man characterized very correctly as Bozo the Clown, outgoing mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio, just announced that he is issuing his last decree on his plebs, on his slaves that inhabit New York City, and has just announced a mandate for all private sector's employees in New York City, officially declaring that to work in New York City, they must take a procedure that he wants them to take, that of course some people and some medical professionals are advising their patients can't take. Some of them can't.
We in New York City have decided to use a preemptive strike to really do something bold to stop.
Preventive strike. What a perfect analogy to use here, as of course that was the analogy used to, of course, attack people first, to bomb them, to blow them up into smithereens and utterly get rid of their existence on the face of the world. Hey, I didn't say it. Bill de Blasio said it, as of course this decree, this mandate will have absolutely a huge negative effect on New York City that has already been bombarded with awful political decisions that were all disguised as health policies and have by and large screwed over the people living in that city. And of course the insanity is continuing, as also New York City announced that its mandate will also be including 5 to 11-year-olds that now have to carry identification and their medical records everywhere they go, showing proof of compliance with this procedure. And now only if they have proof of taking 2 procedures can they actually exist in normal society in New York City and be allowed into places. Now, logistically, this is absolutely a huge inconvenience. Economically, financially, this will obliterate any existence of small and middle-class businesses, as of course other places like a major Canadian province tried to implement similar measures and now, just moments ago, have recalled them, as of course they're facing significant labor shortages, which has made the Canadian government in Ottawa stop and remove their mandate on the population there. Now, the headline of this article should read that major mandate fails, is canceled, but this is reporting by Reuters, who, of course, a lot of executive and chairmen have ties to, of course, big pharma companies, showing a huge conflict of interest. But it's not also economically and socially that we should be worried here, as, of course, all of this is being done, admittedly, according to the New York City mayor, because of this new Omicron variant. As, of course, even admittedly through corporate media reporting, it's only the people that have taken the procedure, have complied with the mandate, some of them even taken 3 procedures. It's only those people are being first affected and infected by this particular Omicron variant, which officially, according to the records right now, isn't responsible for the death of even 1 person. But yet we have to have a full frontal preliminary executive preemptive strike on this? What are you striking? As even Newsweek has reported that the most amount of cases are showing up in the places that have complied the most, the places that have the most amount of people that have taken this procedure. Now, of course, correlation does not prove causation, but Newsweek also did report that the number of cases are falling in the 5 least places that complied with this procedure. Now again, what's happening here? I don't know. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not here giving you medical advice, but even a lot of the supposed professionals, even a lot of the big pharma executives, even the former head of the FDA, is coming out and saying that this procedure, even procedures that are meant to be variant specific, might not work in this specific instant. And I think it's fair to say we don't know what's going on, as of course some medical professionals are saying that this procedure could be creating different variants and creating a worse off situation and harming people rather than, of course, helping them. That, of course, is the debate that's happening right now. It's a conversation that has been started, as even according to the Lancet own data, infection rates with people who have complied and people who haven't complied are nearly the same. So the government's response on implementing medical tyranny on everyone in response to this is absolutely nonsensical, extremely dangerous, as much as it is, of course, illogical and absolutely backwards. This as Italy just announced that they are going to be joining Austria and Germany with a lockdown on people who, of course, didn't comply with their whims, who, of course, didn't take an intrusive procedure that, of course, the government wanted them to take. This, as of course, the United Kingdom is even being condemned by countries around the world for what they're calling travel apartheid, as of course police officers are becoming more and more aggressive towards average everyday citizens for not complying with the whims of bureaucrats, as seen in this video where a person was arrested, which we're going to be playing on LukeUncensored.com in just a little bit. But not to be outdone, Germany has decided to march around their military with torches signaling their support for their leader, Angela Merkel. They say history doesn't repeat, it rhymes, and I would definitely agree with that sentiment, as of course 150 major corporations in Germany just announced their largest promotion campaign ever, trying to, of course, make people comply with the whims of government. Now, seeing these kind of tiki torch marches and the larger merger of the corporations and the state, what does that remind me of? As, of course, Germany and Austria are literally pushing forward decrees that they call laws that will criminalize people for just existing without the proper government compliance paperwork, as Austria just announced that starting February 15th, even if you stay home, even if you don't go anywhere, even if you're under house arrest, if you do not get a procedure that the government wants you to get, that you will face penalties, fines, and potential jail time, even if you totally isolate and sit at home during your whole existence. This, as the president of the European Union Commission is literally debating about throwing out the Nuremberg Code, and with the situation getting this much worse, you could only expect it to get worse from here, as of course there's still a lot of people complying with the whims of state, somehow moronically believing that things will be easier and better if they do, but quite the opposite is true from my perspective and opinion and understanding of history. Now, of course, be warned, in the United States, Republicans aren't your friends either, as Donald Trump was just on Fox News peddling big pharma talking points, and to me, there's nothing more dangerous than the government promising to keep you safe if you just give them everything that you personally have. That's a wager that I'm not willing to make, and I won't be making. That's just my perspective. That's just my opinion, and I might be wrong. If you think I am wrong in any way, shape, or form, let me know down in the comment section below. I always appreciate your constructive criticism. I always appreciate your perspective that is absolutely unique, that you can't get anywhere else, that you could get when you're interacting with someone, when you actually care about something. And because you guys do that, I'm still able to be here as an independent journalist, commentator, reporter, whatever you may call me now. I got another video coming your way on LukeUncensored.com. I hope to see some of you guys there. I love you. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.